Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. This is Mike with SoundstageEDU, and I know it's been a while. Had some things to take care of, but we're getting back in the seat now. We're going to get back on track here and start getting this podcast rolling again for you all. And today I want to talk about something I've seen over and over inside of the parent groups, and that's about volunteers. We're starting to see that tension start to build. We're starting to see it becomes more clear when we're in one of these, I don't want to say lull seasons, but that's kind of what it is. The marching band season is high drive, high intensity, high intentionality, lots of parents involved, right? Because we need lots of help to make these things work. And as we go into the concert season and the chamber season and the solo and ensemble, all of that volunteer need kind of slows down a bit. And that gives us the time to step back and look at the process and realize that we've actually got problems. And that's what I want to talk about. That's why we're having the volunteer roundtable or the parent roundtable discussing volunteers coming up this weekend, actually. So I want to just do this as a precursor, just to get this out there, to get the discussion started. But, you know, every program I have the privilege to work with, at some point, I'll ask the same question. Sometimes they ask it out loud. Sometimes they ask it late at night or staring at a spreadsheet, or they send me a text message. And it's all essentially the same thing. And they ask, why won't parents step up and help? You know, I get that. We say it with frustration, sometimes with exhaustion, or with a little bit of disbelief. Like, how can the parents not want to help? And today I want to talk about that question. And I want to talk about it not from an emotional position and definitely not defensively, but honestly. Because the truth is, the problem might not be that these parents just don't care or that they're not interested. The problem might actually be the system that we've built around them to facilitate the volunteerism here. So let's start right here. And that's this. Parents are not volunteering less because they're lazy. They're not less invested. They're not worse humans than the parents 10 or 20 years ago. I mean, guys, they're overloaded, just like you are. Plain and simple. More jobs that we need here require evening availability. And more families need dual incomes now. More parents are managing mental load, caregiving, aging parents, or in my case, aging grandparents, younger kids, and constant digital noise. And then we hand them a clipboard with vague roles. Just had that discussion today. Well, they don't, why aren't they stepping up? Because your roles are vague. There aren't any. And that gives them, that sets unclear expectations for them. And then there's this unspoken judgment if they say no, even though you guys don't intend that. A lot of these parents feel that if they say no, they're going to be judged. And I want you to understand that that's not a volunteer problem. It's a design flaw in the way we're set up. I mean, let's be real. People don't avoid helping because they're uninterested or that they don't care. They avoid helping when the cost of saying yes feels unknown or unsafe, or, y'all will know this one, endless. Right? A lot of them feel like they're going to get trapped. And so they never step into the fold. Because when volunteering feels like a trap instead of a contribution, people will naturally protect themselves. And honestly, guys, that's not selfish. It's human. And here's the uncomfortable part, and I include myself in this too. Many organizations are unintentionally training parents not to volunteer. And we do that when we only ask the same 5 people, or when we reward burnout with praise instead of relief. Or we say things like, "Oh, it's not that hard," after someone stays up until midnight. We tend to gatekeep information and instead of distributing the clarity that they need. And we make help feel like a lifetime sentence instead of a defined role because there's no clarity. And the biggest one, we ask for help without ever explaining what help actually looks like here. People don't say no to contribution. I'm going to keep saying that. They say no to chaos. They say no to ambiguity. They say no to systems that feel fragile enough that one yes might break them. Because when volunteering requires bravery instead of clarity, well, only the bravest will show up. Now, here's the shift I want us to consider. What if the future of volunteering isn't about recruiting more people, but about reducing friction for the people already willing? What if the parents don't need more passion speeches, but better maps? And what if leadership isn't about convincing, but about designing systems that are safe to enter? This is where tools matter. And this is where I want to talk about the volunteer compass, not a sales pitch, but as a response to what we're actually seeing. The volunteer compass exists to answer questions parents are already asking in their heads. And it's something like this. What help is actually needed? How big is this commitment? Can I help without me becoming the person who always does it? And where do I fit realistically? The volunteer compass is not a sign-up sheet. It's not a guilt engine. It's a clarity tool. And right now it's available with the free site membership. And you know what? That won't always be the case. And it's not because we want to take things away, but because these tools are moving into their permanent home. So here's the part I need to say plainly to you guys. Programs that adopt clarity-driven systems still grow. Programs that rely on heroic volunteers and institutional memory will struggle. And I want you to realize that that's not a threat. That's simply math. When parents can understand roles, boundaries, and impact, they will engage longer. When they feel protected by the structure that you've created, they stay. So, why can't we find volunteers? Because we've asked them to step into uncertainty. And when we do find them, why can't we keep them? Because we've asked them to carry systems that were never designed to be carried by humans alone. So the answer isn't more pressure or slicker tactics. The answer is better design. In the next episode, we're bringing parents into this conversation, not as a panel to judge, but as voices we need to hear. If you're a leader listening to this, I want you to sit with one question before you come into that round table. Is our organization easy to help? Or do you have to be brave to survive it? Because volunteers aren't disappearing. They're waiting for clarity. This has been Mike with SoundstageEDU. I'm looking forward to seeing you all at the round table this weekend. And like I said, in the next episode, we'll discuss some of the things that we learned from that. We might even pull some parent clips. We'll see. We'll see. Just depends on the time. But we're moving in the right direction, guys. One day at a time, one step at a time. We're all learning to raise the bar together.